Here's how to take your Pocket 3 to cinematic levels. Let's get into the first setup. As you can see, I have dual handles on here, and what that does is add that extra bit of weight you need to stabilize yourself when you're filming. It gives you that extra bit of control. I've taken the tripod and put it on the bottom. I don't know about you guys, but I get really annoyed with how small that Pocket 3 screen is. Use your phone. Look, much bigger screen, and all I've done here is got a magnetic mount, which means I can have it in landscape or I can have it in portrait. When you're filming and you've got your Pocket 3 away from you, like, can I see it? I can't see it. As you can see, there's some attachments here which brings forward your phone so you can monitor it a bit better. Under here, I will leave a full list of all the components I'm using in today's video. And you may be thinking, Andy, you have a light there. Why would you have a light there? Even in bright light outside, if you're filming, you need a catch light. You need a bit of glare in those eyes. Those are some of the things which will level up your traditional pocket filming to a cinematic level. We've also got an ND on here as well to control the light so you can get some proper motion blur going on. But none of this, I can tell you, none of this is possible without the main winner, the tilter cage. Now, I have received some stick and comments on my last video to do with the tilter cage, and that is because people were saying, you know, that you can't get much mounting options on there, and I was one of them. I was saying, yeah, it's not very good. It's like, you know, you can put, like, you know, a few things here and a few things on that side, and you're like, it's not very versatile. But like anything, you need to know how to use it. And it got me thinking. It's like, how can I help you guys level up your filming to cinematic level with a few choice items? And choice items which don't cost the earth. And I will leave a whole price list below in the description as well for you. But take it from me. For example, this handle here, we bought two of them. 20 quid each, and it comes with multiple attachments. Now, if you're anything like me, you don't want to be faffing around, screwing things off, taking them apart and things like that. That's why a quick release system like the NATO rail system is perfect. This here takes seconds to put on. You just simply then tighten it up and you have got your handle on there. Now, it isn't easy to put together, and I'm being very conscious because I don't want to damage my precious desk here. Take this one, slide it on the bottom and fix it. It is quick as that. Now let's get on to the second setup. Right, you ready for this? This is the second setup. You're like, a selfie stick, Andy, are you serious? I'm like, 100% serious. But what have we got here, and why would you want a selfie stick? So the components we're using here is a tilter lock-in arm, which means it locks in place and you can move it around. I have removed the magnetic newer thing to attach your phone because you're going to want to monitor it from down here. And this again is why using the DJI Nemo, whatever app it's called, to connect to your camera, which is so useful. And then I've got, this is actually an Insta360. I've nabbed it, but any selfie stick will do, but just make sure it's robust. And again, start of the show, the tilter cage is still here, attaching it to it. But the reason why this is a good setup is because you can get some serious height. I've just hit the ceiling, some serious height. And the best I can, I'm going to explain it to you. This gives you the ability to do some long shots like this. You can even turn it upside down, do low angle shots, and then just make an adjustment. I just realised I'm probably away from the mic here. Make an adjustment, you get some real creative low angle shots. All this stuff, it just makes things look more cinematic. When I say cinematic, what I mean is angles in which people don't normally see. Most people, when they're taking a photo or video, they do it at head height. Boring. Cinematic, let's go low, let's go high, let's create an interesting angle, let's pan in, let's pan out, all that sort of stuff. So selfie stick comes in at number 2. Let's move on to number 3. Guys, I've noticed that 98% of you aren't subscribed to Pulsate Reviews. which is mind-blowing considering the views and comments we're getting on this channel. So if you've got a minute and it's utterly free, subscribe. That will help me create more great content for you going forward. Now, let's get on with the video. Right, you ready? Setup 3, and it's probably the most expensive one. It's the Mini Hydra Alien Arm from Tilter. Let's just put this bad boy on here. Now, the mini arm is probably going to be a bit more specialised, but in the arsenal of your kit, it's a very good idea. This arm is the ultimate kit. Starting price at £149, so still, it's not expensive at all. But this enables you to film cars and vehicles and running shots and things like that. If you go for the ultimate kit, you can have a grip arm which goes on this as well. But if you've never seen one of these, you're a bit like, what's it doing apart from nodding up and down, Andy? Well, this is to take out vibrations on filming, and you can make quick adjustment setups for it as well. And then you can mount it on the side of your car, you can mount it on the bonnet. You could get some interesting angles by mounting it on a wall, but not a brick wall. This is a suction mount. This is the electronic suction mount. You can get a pump action one as well. That's the £149 one. What we have here is the Ultimate Edition, which is £250, but it depends on what you're using it for. This will create some great content for you for a cinema level, chase scenes, whatever you're going for. But this is a nice bit of kit. Let's move on to number 4. Right, our next setup is with a monopod. Now you're like, Andy, you just did a selfie stick one. I'm like, yeah, but wait, let me explain. The monopod means you can put this down. Let me demonstrate this. Put this down, bring up the selfie stick, and even extend the monopod. This means you can then move around quickly. You can place it at an angle, set tracking on your Pocket 3, and do walk and by shots. If you're a YouTuber yourself, or you're creating content yourself, and it's just you, this is your #1 friend. But also you get some interesting height on it. So this will go up very high, which means you could walk under it and look like it's, you know, somebody's filming you, somebody's there, it looks like a bigger team's involved. But the best thing about using a monopod is that it's compact, unlike a tripod. Just a word of warning, if you do extend this all the way, I'm guessing it's going to be something like 3 meters. I haven't measured it. Make sure it's stable before you walk away. The last thing you want to do is go, timber, and you're in the distance and you're like, no, my Pocket 3. So just a word of warning. But this is a great setup too. Let's get on to my final option. So my final option is an ND filter, a magnetic ND filter. This particular one is a variable ND filter. Now, if you don't know what an ND filter is, it means basically neutral density sunglasses for your camera. And one of the ways to make your footage look more cinematic is to lock off your shutter and your frame rate. This is a telltale sign of whether somebody's amateurish. An ND filter basically controls the light going into the sensor. If you don't have an ND filter and you don't control it, you'll get a stuttery effect and you'll get loads of things in focus. Recently we did a shoot with a vehicle where the background's blurred off using an ND filter. That is another way of making it cinematic. Plus, this particular kit we've got, again, bought out of our own money, has what you call a bloom filter. Very difficult to describe a bloom filter, a diffusion, a black filter. This gives, and this is really tiny as well, you can't quite see it, this gives a blurry effect. Imagine a light, it blooms. That's the sort of thing which will make it more cinematic. Now this little kit is, it is very tiny. You can see there's another filter in there, and that's a CPL filter. That's to do with getting rid of pollution and things like that in the sky. Those are those little details you've got to look out for when you want to level up your footage, especially using a camera at this price point. So those are my 5 options to upgrading your Pocket 3 to cinematic levels. But I'd be interested, are you using anything different? Have you got any tips for me? Have you got any questions for me on this particular setup? I've really enjoyed creating this video, And you may well enjoy this video coming up next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.